Toriko chapter 252, Acacia's Fairy Tales. So the backstory continues with Acacia heading on out to gather ingredients along with his new 3 disciples, Ichiru, Midora, and Jiro. Now during their journey, there was a time when Midora was hurt, and he was found in a devil Orochi's nest. And Orochi also means serpent, so I'm assuming the same devil serpent that Toriko and Coco fought in the caves in the pufferfish arc, I believe, yeah. Now, we actually learned that there are 8 kings of beasts. Basically, the 8 strongest types of beasts. The devil serpent is not one of them, but its strength, depending on which one it is on par with them. That begs the question of, like, what are the 8 king of beasts? I'm assuming one of them is definitely the battle wolf. The rest, I'm not really sure. Acacia was lending a helping hand to Midora, and Midora, I guess he's still trying to get used to the fact that he's living with these very nice people, because throughout his years, he never actually had anybody help him. He always had to stand up on his own and just always bear it. So I guess because of that moment, he's now officially being used to, having people who actually reach out to him and having reliable older brothers, even though Jiro always makes fun of him. But then again, that's kind of like usually what they do when you have brothers. Now, when they got back home, Midora's injury was healed because of the cure water, which was able to make his gourmet cells immediately become active, being able for them to regenerate. Now, we actually know that gourmet cells, whenever they get some sort of compatible ingredients in their bodies, their gourmet cells can be upgraded, they can heal a lot faster, they become even more stronger, and also explains why the hell Toriko and the others always survive severe injuries, like holes in their guts or getting their arms, legs cut off, etc., etc. But we actually learn a little bit more about these gourmet cells. Apparently, the gourmet cells are connected to the possessor's spirit. When the possessor gets wounded from a source that has incredibly strong power, that injury, that wound, won't heal and could last a whole lifetime because it damages the possessor's spirit. And since the spirit is connected to the gourmet cells, that means that the gourmet cells are directly getting that damage, which means that when the gourmet cells get damaged, it cannot heal. Now, Jiro did actually make this sort of joke, saying that the cells can actually admit defeat if the wound still stays, but that actually makes sense, because if you think about it, back in Cookie Fest, Elg got hit by Bronchi's massive lightning attack, which was he was supposed to be constantly electrocuted for all eternity, and because of no matter how many times Elg's cells were able to regenerate, they couldn't fully heal the damage because it kept constantly hitting the gourmet cells, I'm assuming, and it's because it hit the possessor's spirit, Elg's spirit, which was why the gourmet cells gave up, because the gourmet cells, I'm assuming, also succumbed to that damage, and that's how Elg died, and that's why Elg couldn't be able to regenerate or heal. Now, Midora actually asks Acacia about the scars on his face, which, funny thing is, this is actually the first time Midora talked in this flashback. Acacia told Midora that the gourmet cells have existed ever since ancient times, thousands of years ago, and apparently they can also appear through atavism on extremely rare occasions. Now, I didn't know what atavism meant, but from looking it up, it means the reappearance of a characteristic in an organism after several generations of absence. I'm assuming that the gourmet cells, because of atavism, they never actually had a specific characteristic, like the scars, throughout past generations until Midora was born, which was how he got those scars ever since he was a baby, since Midora was born with gourmet cells. Okay, so that's one mystery solved, why Midora has those scars. But anyway, there was actually a panel of Midora, and I don't know if this was his thoughts or thoughts of some mean person back in the past, but it said, "How dare that utterly selfish devil show his face?" So yeah, I didn't really get that, but maybe you guys can tell me. Froze actually managed to cook everybody dinner, and they all sat down and having a nice meal. As time went on, he trained along with Ichiru and Jiro. He actually became very good in his intimidation skills, which, come to think of it, we haven't seen his intimidation. Hell, we haven't even seen Ichiru's intimidation, which, if he's really good at it, imagine how scary it might be. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Midora's intimidation. Achiryu cannot drink alcohol because one time he tried to drink it, he passed out. Jiro actually has a fear of heights. I know, it's crazy! Because one time in the past, when Jiro did something really bad, Acacia made him stand suspended over a cliff as a punishment. That's freaking harsh. What did he do to deserve that? You know, actually, it was never actually shown Jiro actually having fear of heights. That kind of surprised me, really. Now we also get some more panels, like Froze actually giving Midora a goodnight kiss every night when he goes to bed. And we actually do get a panel of Setsuno for the very first time. A young Setsuno, and she's still wearing that same outfit. I think I recall her wearing that outfit from when I think there was actually a brief flashback of her and Jiro, or that picture that they showed in the anime. You know, come to think of it, I really want to know, like, how did Setsuno and Jiro meet? How did they form a combo? And it looks like that when they've met and formed a combo, they really had like some sort of relationship, and I really wanted to like learn more about it. And come to think of it, I think that's like the only pairing in Toriko. Well, there was also Acacia and Froze, but I guess you count that as pairing. Froze was going out to town to distribute food, and she asked Midora to come along. And apparently, even though he had a loving family, deep down in his heart, according to the narration, there was a pitch black emotion that lingered like sludge that would not disappear. So I guess he probably doesn't like the fact that they have to give away food to these people. During the time when Midora and Froze were handing out food to the others, there was actually this one selfish asshole that wanted food, and when he got the food, he's like, oh my god, I won't last long with this little food. I want some high-class food, god damn it. He threw the food down, and god, what a fucking asshole. I mean, dude should be grateful that he's getting food. Even if it's not a lot, at least it's something. Hell, even Midora told him that he should be grateful that he was able to eat at all. Of course, Froze stopped him, but then the other guy told him to like quit acting all high and mighty, and because of this, we don't see it, but there was actually a panel of yelling, so I'm assuming Midora kicked his ass. Midora actually did feel a little guilty for what he did. Froze told him that the people of the city are just on edge because they're hungry. She believed that when everybody was able to get their stomachs full, whenever they eat delicious food, then the war will end. But Midora is still feeling down because he thought that he wasn't really pure. But the reason why he attacked that guy was because Froze worked very hard to make this food for all the hungry people, and this guy was so ungrateful that he threw Froze's food. Midora hated that, and it was why he attacked him. Midora was actually crying because he hated the fact that Froze's food was going to waste, and Froze said that his blood and his tears aren't one bit impure. They sparkle more and they're clearer than anyone's. This is actually kind of a nice moment, really. God, I feel so bad for Midora. I don't know why, but I really do. I mean, when you know a character like this, you can actually feel bad for him. You kind of sympathize with them. Now, with the flashback, we get a 10-year time skip. 2 pages basically describing what happened during the 10 years. We get to see the 4 Beasts, which looks a bit different, but I think it's one of the 4 Beast limbs. The 3 disciples have, I think they're like around Toriko's age probably, or older, I'm not sure. I don't know why, in one panel, Midora looks an awful lot like Toriko, except with the black hair and the scars on his eyes. Am I the only one that kind of sees this? But during the 10 years when the 4 Beasts appeared, Ichiryu managed to ambush the 4 limbs, and, you know, as time went on, both him and Jiro got incredibly strong. He was able to drive back the 4 Beast limbs. However, because of the Gourmet War, the 4 Beast was able to absorb thousands of humans, sadly. And Jiro actually found the 4 Beast's main body and managed to use knocking to seal it. I'm going a bit off topic here, but I actually finally caught up to the Toriko anime, which they're going to get into filler before they get to the cooking fest, but oh my god! The episode when Toriko, Coco, Sunny, and Zebra managed to use the Oshoku Banzai to fucking spirit bomb Pac-Man! Oh my god! It was so... I don't know why I liked it. It was fucking Pac-Man eating the 4 Beasts. It was freaking funny, and yet I liked it for some reason. Hell, it almost had the sound effects, like waka waka waka. Fucking Pac-Man. Oh god, it's moments like these where I really like Toriko. It seems that during the 10 years, Acacia has been gathering ingredients for his full course. Acacia said that within 1 month from back then, it will be the solar eclipse, which means that God will appear. Which means that the war will have a temporary ceasefire, but it will be even more difficult to gather a lot of ingredients. So they gotta gather as much as they can, otherwise the people will starve. Acacia looks like he's aged, and yet Froze still looks the same from the 10 years before. Now, there was actually a moment when Midora said that Acacia told them that when the solar eclipse happens, it will happen because a giant demon king will bite the sun. That's not how a solar eclipse works. Solar eclipse happens when the moon goes between the sun and the earth. All of a sudden, we see this footprint, and there was actually something coming from the outside. The thing is, what Froze said kind of surprised me, because a lot of you guys said that the reason why Acacia was able to speak to Pear, his soup dish, was because of the voices of the ingredients. You know, like what Komatsu's done, and probably a bunch of other chefs. I think it's different, because Froze said that Pear has come to meet him. And he tells everybody not to appear because the things that are outside, Pear, is a blue nitro. Blue nitros. Yeah, we've heard of nitros. We've even seen red nitros in the Cooking Invasion. But these are blue nitros. We've never even seen a blue nitro or never even heard of a blue nitro before or what they're capable of. But these blue nitros are apparently even stronger than the 3 disciples and that nobody can defeat them. And he said that all of them have come together. And the chapter ends where we see a bunch of blue nitros heading towards Acacia's home. So that is Toriko chapter 252. What did I think? I have been really enjoying this flashback. I don't know what it is with Toriko and flashbacks, but I like them. I mean, when Naruto gets into a flashback, I always get freaking annoyed because sometimes the flashbacks are the same things we've seen before. But when it comes to Toriko, this flashback I've been enjoying a lot. So now that we learned that God is a connection with the solar eclipse, but it also has a connection with these blue nitro. We've never seen a blue nitro before. I don't think we've ever even heard of a blue nitro. Have we seen a blue nitro? I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me. Froze said that Pear has come to meet Acacia, and all we see outside from Acacia's home is blue nitros. The previous chapter, when Acacia said that he was talking to Pear, it wasn't really his soup dish. It was apparently a blue nitro. At least that's what I'm thinking. Either his full course menu are blue nitros, or they're named after the blue nitros. So we might learn about the connection to the whole God mystery with these blue nitros next week. That's what it's saying. I've been enjoying Midora's backstory a lot. Maybe the reason why he was evil in the first place, because he thought that people were selfish. They weren't grateful, thankful for having whatever food they had. And because he deemed humanity selfish, he decided to like steal all the food for himself and created the Shokukai. But I think we'll probably get to that later on. So I'm probably going to assume that it was probably after God was discovered or after the Gourmet War has been ended. We actually do get some panels of some of the moments that he went through. But the moments Midora had with Froze, it was really nice. Like the relationship between Midora and Froze, they have like this mother-son bond between the two. And it really shows. I really do want to know like how Midora became evil, but I'm probably going to throw out that theory I said previously. But I am even more interested in these blue nitros and learning more about God and this what happens during the solar eclipse, because it's supposed to be 1 month from back then. There's still like so many questions that need to be answered. And hopefully they'll clear up the fact what Pear is. I mean, is Pear the soup dish or is Pear a blue nitro? Just, I don't know. So, tell me guys, what do you think about this chapter in the comment section down below, and any possible theories you have about the blue nitros and how Midora became evil. That's Toriko chapter 252, and another good flashback chapter. Really surprising, really. I'm Lucia 27, and I will see you guys later. Bye.